Hey, Bio One students, it's Mr. Yance, and today I want to go through our frog dissection we're going to do in class. You can see the frog laying here on the dissection pan, and I will give you some instructions. And there's a frog in class, and there's a frog tutorial that I have with this video on it that will be on your Google Classroom, so you have that as a reference. And if you're not here, you can use it to dissect the frog. Okay. Each group is going to get a frog, so not everybody has to dissect a frog. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to dissect, get in a group that does. And each group's going to get a dissection kit that looks like this. It's got scissors, which we're going to need. It's got a forceps we can use to point out stuff, some forceps or tweezers, whatever you want to call them, and another type of probe. So that's what we're going to use to dissect the frog. Okay. A very important document you need to have available to you and have it out on your desk is this one right here. It's got frog dissection parts, and we're going to look at these external parts first, and you need to check them off as you find them. And you're more than welcome to watch this video as I go through them and pause it and check them off and look at it and just keep going until we get to the entire list. We got some external, some mouth parts, and some internal. Okay. And then we're going to have a quiz over those parts on when we're done with dissection. So not only do you need to find them, you need to know what they look like. So when I flash them up there on a Google form quiz, you know what we're looking at. Okay, so when you look at a frog, there's some things you want to take note of. You'll notice their skin is moist, which helps them breathe. They breathe through their skin. And you'll notice these little camouflage speckles on them, spots. They can change those a little bit, those pigmentations when they're live. Those are called chromatophores. So when you're looking at a quiz and I point to these spots and say, what are the spots called? Those are called chromatophores. They don't have external ears like you and I have. They have this tympanic membrane, which works just like our eardrum. You'll see it right here. And it vibrates right behind their eye, and that's what they hear and feel with. So when you're walking up to one, they actually feel your footsteps long before they see you. Okay. The other unique thing about a frog is its eyelids. They have a third eyelid. You can see it here, and it comes up across their eye when they're underwater, and it works just like a swim goggle. Okay, that's called a nictitating membrane. Nictitating membrane. So it's kind of a cool feature that allows frogs to be aquatic. They also have external nares, which are just these openings up here. They're nostrils, basically. They're called external nares. And then down here at the bottom, you can see here they have an opening. That would be the anus. Okay, so those are the external parts. Pretty simple. So kind of look those over. Make sure you can find them on your frog before you go to the next section. Okay, now we're going to go to the mouth. So you're going to take your scissors, and don't be nice to the frog. They're long since deceased. And you're going to you're going to open it up and go right in the corners, and you're going to cut back quite a ways on that side. Turn it over on the other side. Open up its mouth a little bit. There you can see me opening it up. And then you're going to cut on this side. Okay. And there's some tough stuff you're going to cut through. And then you're going to take the lower lip and you're going to pull it open like so. And don't be kind, because you need to see a lot of things in here. Okay. So let's look in the mouth. The obvious thing is the tongue. And you can see what's weird about the tongue of a frog is it's hinged in the front. So it actually flips out and extends out, and that's what they catch their insects with. So that's called, obviously, the tongue. And then you're going to notice some things in here that you need to take note of. So when you look at the inside of the mouth of a frog, they have several openings. They have these little openings up here. That's those external nares we were talking about. And now we're on the inside, so they're internal nares on this side. That's the top holes. You'll notice two little knobs up here. Those are called the vomer teeth. So internal nares on either side and vomer teeth. You should be able to see both of those clearly. Okay. And again, if you have your collar sheet, this is another nice sheet to have. You can kind of see and follow along on those. So that's not a bad thing to have out and look at when you're doing your dissection. Okay. And then we have the eustachian tubes. A lot of people mess this up. I don't quite know why they mess it up so badly, but they do. Okay. But that's these things right here. Okay. So that's eustachian tubes, one on each side. Okay. They have a maxillary teeth. That's these teeth run along the outside edge. You actually can take your probe, you can feel them. That's what they kind of grip. The vomer teeth kind of help hold insects in place when they swallow. These are another gripping agent that it helps them chew. Okay. And then they have the glottis and the gullet. Very confusing. Okay. The glottis is just a little slit. See it right here? I'll see if I can open it up. Hopefully you can see it. There you go. That is the glottis. And then the throat that goes down into their esophagus, that is the gullet. Okay. Glottis, the slit, gullet, the throat. Okay. And that's really all you need to find inside the mouth. Okay. So one more time: internal nares, vomer teeth, maxillary teeth, eustachian tubes, glottis, and gullet. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're about halfway through or more to finding the parts. It doesn't take long, so you guys will be fine. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is take our scissors and we're going to cut through the abdomen. And usually when you watch a video on dissection, it tells you, oh, you need to pin it back and do those things. This is a one-day dissection for us. And again, you're going to use this internal part thing. It will help you. Another good picture on the other side, so use that. So we're going to start down here at the bottom. And you can see their skin may be cut already. That's okay. You're just going to kind of go up through their skin. If it's already cut, that's okay. Just kind of cut it out of the way. I just remove it because it's a one-day dissection. So just cut their skin off, okay? And then you're going to see underneath, okay? And if that's not cut already for you, you can take your forceps and lift it up, okay? Really important that we take our forceps and we grab a hold of this muscular layer. See me doing that here? Okay, and that way you don't take your pointed end of your scissors, and we're going to cut through the muscles, like so. Don't cut too deep because that's why these forceps are handy, because if you cut too deep, you're going to get in all the internal organs, okay? And you're going to get right up here by their legs. In their legs, there's a sternum or a bony-like structure, so you might want to turn your scissors a little sideways and cut right up through that. You're going to cut through a lot of stuff, okay? You'll notice me, and you can take your scissors and remove the outsides of that. You're just taking the muscular wall off. So you can see that's pretty hard stuff, okay? That's right over the heart. So you can kind of remove this stuff on the side, like so. Boom. You're going to notice already I have a female. Everybody see the eggs? There's the eggs, okay? Those little brown beads down there. There you can kind of see the heart. So I kind of work my way on the other side, cut this way, kind of lift up as you go, either your forceps or your fingers, whatever works for you. I like to use my fingers, it's easier, okay? Just get all that skin and muscle out of the way. And there you can see there's just a lot of cartilage and stuff in the between here. You got to cut through to see the heart and lungs. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get rid of some of that. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So you should be able to see all the inside parts. I'm just taking all that muscular and that bony stuff off. If you get up that far, you're in pretty good shape. There's the lungs and the heart and all that good stuff. Okay. Now, I would go ahead and take my forceps and take these carefully out. These are just eggs. There's hundreds of them. When they lay eggs, you can see why lots of tadpoles come out of these. So you can take your forceps and just kind of pry those out if you want. Lay them off the side. Okay. They're you can see a lot of you are going to have females. If you're very, very lucky, you get a male and you don't have to worry about all this junk. But a lot of them are females and they were getting ready to lay their eggs. So you just got to take all that stuff out. And some will have even more than this. This is not that bad. I've seen much worse. Okay. So we're just going to take all those just kind of get in there with your forceps. Be careful. Don't try to take out any other organs. Just want to take out the eggs. Okay. And there you can start to see the intestines and all that good stuff. All right. So I got all that out of the way. Okay. Now, what you're going to find is the liver. That's this 3-lobe thing. It's blue. What they do is they inject these with paint, red for arteries and blue for veins. And some of that kind of oozes out of the capillaries. So it'll probably be a blue-looking structure. And this is the heart. They have a 3-chambered heart. We have a 4-chamber. They have 2 atriums and a ventricle. We have 2 atriums and 2 ventricles. So we have a 4-chambered heart. Okay. I would go ahead and take the liver out of there. Okay. So very carefully, a lot of people mess this up. Okay. You want to kind of clip the liver back here underneath the heart. Try not to get the heart if you can help it. They have a little bile duct you clip right here to kind of detach it. I don't know if you can see me doing that or not. Okay. Just a little thing that's down there. Okay. And then kind of cut across it. And see if you can get out one piece. There we go. Okay. So you can see this huge thing is the liver. It has 500 functions in humans. Okay. And then if you turn it over, you're going to see a green little pea-like structure. Everybody see that? That is the gallbladder. Okay. So liver's the big one. Gallbladder's a little green pea thing underneath. Okay. So that's 2 things on your checkoff list. Okay. There's the heart and there's the lungs. You can see the lungs on either side of the heart right there. Good picture of the lungs. See if I can get that a little closer. But I see the lungs there on either side, one there and one on the other side. And then the heart. Okay. So you can take your scissors if you want. And let's just clip those out. Just remove those so you can see those up close. Still got a little liver hooked on. Not unusual. Okay. So there is a frog heart. Kind of cool. Atriums and ventricle. Okay. And then the lungs. Take that one out. There's 2 of them just like we have. And you can cut that out. Okay. So that's what the lungs look like. All right. Let me kind of show you something real quick here. I'm going to grab I'm going to take a eyedropper. I'm going to stick it in this lung. Hopefully it'll work. I'll seal it. And you can see it inflate. Everybody see it inflate? Hope if I can get it under the camera. There you can see it inflating. That's what we do. That's how we breathe. Kind of cool. Okay. So that's the lungs. Okay. Now let's keep working our way down. So this big thing at the top, I'm going to cut it off on either end. So I'm going to cut it from the esophagus. Okay. That is the stomach right here. Okay. I'm going to remove it from the small intestine, which is right here. Okay. And you can, if you want, it's up to you. You can take your scissors and cut it open. Sometimes you find little insects in there. Sometimes you don't. Let's see what we got. But I do want to show you one thing inside the stomach real quick. I don't know if this is in your instructions or not, but it's kind of cool to do if you got time. Nope, no insects. Maybe a little bit. But you can see the little ridges in there. Those are called rugae. And those allow us to have more absorptive surface. We have that in our stomach too. So you might get lucky and you might see an insect in there. Now you can see all the small intestine, all this little stuff in here. And then you'll also see this membranous stuff down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. This membrane has blood vessels in it. That's called the mesentery. This little blue bean-like structure is the spleen. Remember blue or bean spleen. Always remember that. There you go. You can see it pretty close there. Okay. So mesentery, this is the small intestine, this little tube. Where it gets bigger at the bottom, I hope you can see that right there. That is the large intestine. So small intestine, large intestine. Okay. The kidneys are sometimes very difficult to find in a female because there's so much stuff in here with their ovaries and their eggs and all that stuff. There you go. Yeah, maybe it'll be better on the other side. Let's go to the other side. A lot of reproductive organs in here, which you don't have to worry about. So there's 2 kidneys, just like we have. And they're right against the body wall down here at the bottom. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. There you go. I don't know if you probably can't see it real well, but there are just little structures down here on the body wall, little brown-like structures, kind of hard to see with all this stuff in the way. Okay, so that's the kidneys. Okay. Other than that, that's about it on the inside. The esophagus was on the top of the stomach, so that's a tube I cut. You can kind of see the bottom of it right here. That's the esophagus, and that goes up to your throat, and then the stomach comes down, the small intestine hooks onto the other side. So, that's the frog dissection in a nutshell. So, not hard. You'll get done within about 20, 30 minutes. You're more than welcome to look around and see other stuff in there as well, but that's what you have to find. And then when we're done, I have a bucket in the back of my classroom, which we will put all the frog parts in. And no, you cannot take frogs with you. And we will dispose of those and clean all of our utensils up, get all this cleaned up, rinse off the tray, stack the trays back where you got them, and we will call it good. And that'll be it for Bio 1 for this year. So, hey, have a good day. I hope that made sense to you. I have another video I'll link on there too. You can look at some other dissection videos if you like, but that is the order we go in. All right. Hey, have a good day. We'll see you later.